Chapter 1. Leo, the Lion's Reputation. Leo was a young lion living in the heart of the African savannah. He was known far and wide as the bravest and strongest lion in the land. His roar was so powerful that it could be heard for miles around, and his muscles were so massive that he could take down any prey he desired. But Leo was not just physically strong, he was also mentally tough. He never backed down from a challenge, no matter how difficult it seemed. He faced every obstacle with a fierce determination and a steely resolve. As a result, Leo had earned a reputation as the most powerful and feared lion in the savannah. All the other animals, from the graceful gazelles to the massive elephants, knew that Leo was not to be messed with. They respected him for his strength and bravery, but they also feared him for his arrogance and selfishness. Despite his reputation, Leo was not entirely happy. He felt like there was something missing in his life, something that he couldn't quite put his paw on. He longed for something more than just the respect and fear of the other animals. One day, as Leo was out hunting for prey, he came across a group of young cubs playing in the grass. They were carefree and happy, completely oblivious to the dangers that lurked around them. Leo watched them for a while, feeling a strange sense of envy. As he watched the cubs play, Leo realized that what he was missing in his life was not power or strength, but joy and companionship. He longed to have friends who would love him for who he was, not just because he was the strongest lion in the savannah. And so, with this newfound realization, Leo set out on a journey to discover the true meaning of friendship and companionship. Little did he know that this journey would change his life in ways he could never have imagined. Chapter 2. Leo's Arrogance and Selfishness. Leo continued on his journey to discover the true meaning of friendship and companionship. As he traveled through the savannah, he met many different animals, each with their own unique personalities and quirks. But no matter where he went or who he met, Leo always carried with him his arrogance and selfishness. He still believed that he was the strongest and most important animal in the savannah, and he treated the other animals with disdain and disrespect. One day, as Leo was hunting for prey, he came across a group of antelopes grazing peacefully in a meadow. Leo's stomach rumbled with hunger, and he prepared to pounce on the unsuspecting animals. But just as he was about to attack, he heard a soft voice from behind him. "Excuse me, Mr. Lion," the voice said, "but do you really need to hunt these antelopes? They're just trying to live their lives like you are." Leo turned around and saw a small meerkat standing before him. The meerkat's eyes were wide with fear, but his voice was steady and strong. Leo was taken aback by the meerkat's words. He had never really thought about the impact of his actions on the other animals in the savannah. To him, hunting was just a means to an end, a way to satisfy his hunger and assert his dominance. But now, for the first time, Leo began to see things from a different perspective. He realized that his arrogance and selfishness had blinded him to the needs and desires of the other animals. With a heavy heart, Leo walked away from the antelopes and the meerkat. He knew that he had a lot of soul-searching to do, and that he needed to confront his arrogance and selfishness if he was ever going to find true friendship and companionship. And so, Leo set out once again, determined to rid himself of his arrogance and selfishness and become the kind of lion that the other animals could truly respect and admire. But little did he know that this would be the hardest challenge he had ever faced. Chapter 3. Leo confronts the hyenas. As Leo continued on his journey, he came across a pack of hyenas that were causing trouble in the savannah. They were attacking other animals for no reason, stealing their food, and generally making life miserable for everyone. Leo knew that he had to do something to stop the hyenas. He couldn't stand by and watch as they terrorized the other animals. So he approached the pack, his muscles tensed and his roar echoing across the savannah. "Stop this madness!" he bellowed. "You have no right to harm innocent animals and steal their food. You must leave this place at once." The hyenas sneered at Leo, baring their teeth and growling menacingly. "What are you going to do about it, big shot?" one of them taunted. We outnumber you and we're stronger than you. You don't stand a chance." But Leo refused to back down. He stood his ground, his eyes blazing with determination. "I may be outnumbered," he said, "but I have something that you don't. I have courage, and I have the support of all the other animals in the savannah. If you don't leave now, I will make you leave." The hyenas hesitated for a moment, unsure of what to do. But then they attacked, leaping at Leo with all their might. Leo fought back with everything he had, his muscles rippling and his claws slashing through the air. It was a fierce battle, with neither side gaining the upper hand. But then, just as Leo thought he was about to be overwhelmed, something miraculous happened. The other animals in the savannah, inspired by Leo's bravery, came to his aid. They charged into the fray, attacking the hyenas from all sides and driving them away. Leo was amazed by what he had just witnessed. He had always believed that he was the strongest and bravest animal in the savannah, but now he realized that he was just one part of a larger community, and it was only by working together that they could overcome their challenges and protect each other. With a newfound respect for the other animals in the savannah, Leo continued on his journey, wondering what other lessons he would learn along the way. Chapter 4. Leo is overpowered and injured. As Leo continued his journey, he found himself in unfamiliar territory. He had strayed far from the savannah and was now deep in the heart of the jungle. As he walked through the thick undergrowth, Leo suddenly heard a rustling in the bushes. He tensed, ready for whatever danger might be lurking ahead. But what emerged from the bushes was something that Leo had never seen before. It was a massive gorilla, with rippling muscles and a fierce expression. The gorilla glared at Leo, as if daring him to challenge his territory. Leo was hesitant to engage the gorilla in a fight, but he also knew that he couldn't back down. He had to stand his ground and protect himself. So he lunged at the gorilla, his claws extended and his teeth bared. But the gorilla was too strong for Leo. With one mighty swing of his arm, he sent Leo flying through the air. Leo hit the ground hard, his body racked with pain. He tried to get up, but his limbs felt heavy and unresponsive. The gorilla towered over him, breathing heavily. "You are no match for me," he said, "but I respect your courage. I will spare your life, but you must leave this place at once." Leo nodded weakly, struggling to get up. He knew that he had been overpowered and that he needed to retreat to safety. As he limped away from the gorilla, Leo realized that he had been too confident in his own strength. He had assumed that he could take on any opponent, no matter how powerful they were. But now he knew that he had to be more cautious and more humble in his approach. With his injuries slowing him down, Leo continued on his journey, wondering what other challenges lay ahead. Chapter 5. Leo's Realization and Change of Heart. As Leo limped through the jungle, nursing his injuries, he couldn't help but reflect on his recent encounters with the hyenas and the gorilla. He had always been so focused on his own strength and reputation that he had failed to recognize the importance of humility and cooperation. But now, as he lay wounded and vulnerable, Leo realized that he had to change his ways. He couldn't continue to live his life as a selfish and arrogant lion. He made a vow to himself to be more open-minded and respectful of others. He would seek out new allies and learn from them, rather than trying to dominate and control them. As he continued on his journey, Leo came across a group of animals that he had never seen before. They were a diverse bunch, including zebras, giraffes, and even a few monkeys. At first, Leo was wary of these strange creatures, but then he noticed something remarkable. They were all working together, sharing resources and helping each other out. Leo was impressed by their teamwork and camaraderie. He realized that this was the kind of community that he had been missing in his own life. He approached the group, introducing himself and asking if he could join them. To his surprise, they welcomed him with open arms, eager to have a new member of their team. Over time, Leo learned so much from his new friends. He discovered new ways of hunting and new ways of communicating. He even learned to appreciate the beauty of the jungle in a whole new way. As he settled into his new community, Leo felt a sense of peace that he had never known before. He knew that he had finally found his place in the world, and that he was no longer the same arrogant and selfish lion that he had once been. But there were still challenges ahead. and Leo knew that he would have to stay true to his new ideals if he wanted to overcome them. He was ready for whatever lay ahead, confident that he had the strength and the support to face anything that came his way. Chapter 6. Leo apologizes and promises to change. One day, Leo came across a familiar face, the hyena that he had fought with months ago. The hyena looked at Leo warily, clearly remembering their last encounter. Leo knew that he had to make things right. He approached the hyena and apologized for his behavior, acknowledging that he had been arrogant and selfish in the past. To Leo's surprise, the hyena accepted his apology graciously. "I know that we've had our differences in the past," the hyena said, "but I can see that you've changed, and that's all that really matters." From that day forward, Leo and the hyena became unlikely friends. They worked together to hunt and protect their shared territory, and Leo felt grateful for the chance to make amends. But there were still other animals in the jungle who were wary of Leo's reputation. He knew that he had to do more to prove himself and show that he had truly changed. So he decided to hold a meeting with all the animals of the jungle, inviting them to hear his apology and his promise to change. It was a nerve-wracking experience, but Leo was determined to make things right. At the meeting, Leo spoke from his heart. He admitted his mistakes and promised to be a better leader, one who valued cooperation and respect above all else. To his surprise, the animals responded positively. They could see that Leo was sincere in his apology, and that he was truly committed to change. Over time, Leo worked hard to rebuild his reputation, earning the trust and respect of his fellow animals. He became a leader that everyone could look up to, one who was fair, humble, and compassionate. And as Leo looked out over his new community, he couldn't help but feel grateful for the journey that had brought him here. He had learned so much about himself and about the world around him, and he knew that he was a better lion because of it. Chapter 7. Leo's Newfound Wisdom. As Leo settled into his role as a respected leader in the jungle, he began to reflect on the lessons that he had learned. He realized that his past behavior had been rooted in fear and insecurity, and that he had used his strength as a way to compensate for those feelings. But now, as he saw the value of cooperation and teamwork, he understood that true strength came from working together and building relationships with others. Leo began to mentor younger lions, teaching them the importance of empathy and respect. He showed them that true leadership meant putting the needs of the group above one's own ego. And as he shared his newfound wisdom with others, Leo found that he was constantly learning new things as well. He learned from the different animals in the jungle, from the way they communicated and worked together, and from their unique perspectives on the world. One day, while out on a walk, Leo came across a wise old elephant. The elephant had lived in the jungle for many years and had seen and experienced things that Leo could only imagine. The two of them struck up a conversation, and Leo was amazed at the wisdom and insight that the elephant had to offer. They talked about everything from the nature of leadership to the importance of community, and Leo felt as though he had stumbled upon a valuable mentor. Over time, Leo and the elephant grew close, and Leo began to see the value of seeking out wisdom and guidance from others. He realized that no one person had all the answers, and that true wisdom came from a lifetime of experience and learning. And so, with his newfound wisdom and his commitment to cooperation and respect, Leo continued to lead his community forward. He knew that there would always be challenges ahead, but he felt confident in his ability to face them with humility, courage, and a deep respect for the jungle and all its inhabitants. Chapter 8. Leo's Transformation and Redemption. Leo continued to lead the animals of the jungle with wisdom and compassion. He had transformed from a selfish and arrogant lion into a true leader, one who valued the contributions of each and every member of his community. But even as he reveled in his newfound success, Leo knew that there were still others in the jungle who were not yet convinced of his transformation. There were still animals who feared him, who remembered his past reputation as a fierce and unpredictable predator. So Leo decided to go on a journey of redemption, to prove to those who doubted him that he had truly changed. He set out into the depths of the jungle, determined to show that he was a different lion than he had been before. He worked with other animals to protect their territory from poachers, helped a group of monkeys to find a new home after their tree was destroyed, and even volunteered to help the local ant colony with their harvest. As he worked, Leo found that he was growing stronger and more confident, not just in his physical abilities, but in his ability to lead with kindness and understanding. And as he helped those around him, he saw the walls of distrust begin to crumble. The animals of the jungle began to see him not just as a powerful predator, but as a valuable member of their community. Finally, after months of hard work and dedication, Leo returned to his own territory. The other animals greeted him warmly, no longer fearful or suspicious. Leo felt a sense of pride and satisfaction at his transformation, but he knew that his journey was not yet over. He continued to work tirelessly to build relationships with other animals, to learn from their experiences, and to lead with empathy and respect. And in the end, Leo realized that true redemption came not just from changing one's own behavior, but from inspiring others to do the same. As he looked out over his community, he knew that he had become a better lion, a better leader, and a better friend because of the challenges that he had faced and overcome. Chapter 9. Leo's Legacy. Years had passed since Leo's transformation and redemption, and the jungle had never been the same. The community had grown stronger, more united, and more resilient under Leo's leadership. But as Leo grew older, he knew that it was time to start thinking about his legacy. He had accomplished so much in his life, but he knew that there was still more work to be done to ensure that the animals of the jungle could thrive for generations to come. So Leo gathered the leaders of each animal group, and together they began to brainstorm ways to make the jungle a better place. They talked about the importance of conserving resources, of working together to protect the environment, and of passing on their knowledge and traditions to future generations. Leo listened to their ideas, and he knew that he had found the perfect way to ensure his legacy. He proposed the creation of a council, made up of representatives from each animal group, that would meet regularly to discuss important issues and make decisions for the good of the community. The other animals were initially skeptical. They had never worked together in such a formal way before. But Leo had won their trust and respect over the years, and they soon agreed to his proposal. And so, the council was born. Leo served as its first leader, guiding the group as they made decisions that would impact the jungle for years to come. They established rules for hunting and fishing, worked together to conserve water and other resources, and even created a system for resolving disputes between animals. Over time, the council became a cornerstone of the jungle community. It ensured that everyone had a voice, and that decisions were made with the best interests of the community in mind. And even after Leo passed away, the council continued to thrive, carrying on his legacy of cooperation, respect, and wise leadership. As the years passed, the jungle flourished under the council's guidance. The animals learned to work together in new and innovative ways, building a better future for themselves and their descendants. And though Leo was gone, his spirit lived on in the hearts of every animal in the jungle. They knew that his legacy was not just the council, but the values that he had instilled in them, the importance of humility, respect, and working together for the common good.